Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So we had a very busy day yesterday. Several primaries and a caucus took place. And we have the results here for you from the Republicans. According to, before I get to that, I'll just tell you the states. You had Mississippi, Michigan, Idaho, and Hawaii. In the Mississippi Republican primary, Donald Trump won with 47% of the vote. You had Ted Cruz in second with 36%. You have, and by the way, in that Mississippi primary, Marco Rubio ended up coming in fourth. John Kasich is in third place right now. So Rubio is just doing extremely, extremely poorly. So really just does not look good at all for Marco Rubio when it comes to that. Let's see here. You have in the next one, in the Idaho Republican primary, Ted Cruz won. He won Idaho with 45%. And Donald Trump came in second with 28%. Marco Rubio was in third at 16%. In the, we went from Mississippi to the Michigan primary. Donald Trump won with 37%. Ted Cruz with 25%. In the Hawaii Republican caucus, Donald Trump won with 43%. Ted Cruz came in second with 32%, and Marco Rubio at third with 13%. So Kasich is actually getting up there quite a bit. So he beat Rubio in Mississippi and also in Michigan. So doing pretty well. And we'll get to the Democrats here in 1 second too. But it's going to be an interesting race, and I personally just think that it's really I personally think it's just time for Marco Rubio to call it a day, get out of the election. I mean, he's doing poorly. I don't see him raising to the top anytime soon. On the Democrats, you had Bernie Sanders that ended up winning Michigan with 50% of the vote compared to Hillary Clinton with 48%. So very close there. And in Mississippi, it just wasn't a competition at all. Hillary Clinton received 83% of the vote with Sanders at 16%. Now, I've got to say, my good friend Brian Fisher over there at AFR, he must be really upset right now because he lives in Mississippi. Tupelo, Mississippi is where AFR is based, American Family Association. And so Mississippi, went for Donald Trump 47% to 36%. So it's going to be interesting listening to his show tomorrow. Today. So, it was quite fascinating, I tell you. So that's what we have going on there. Bernie Sanders won one. Hillary Clinton won the other one. Just absolutely knocked the snot out of Bernie Sanders there in Mississippi. So it's still an interesting race, but I think it's coming down in the Republican primary. It's coming down to Ted Cruz versus Donald Trump, which is, if you've been listening to my show long enough, that's actually what I've hoped for, because I look at Donald Trump as being a conservative, okay? I look at Ted Cruz as definitely being a conservative, of course. So if I have to choose between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, that is the best decision that I will ever have to make in my life, because either way, you're going to win. Okay, either way, you are going to be fine. I won't be, upset. I'll still support Ted Cruz if he gets it. I'd love to see Ted Cruz as the nominee. I'd also love to see Donald Trump as the nominee. If Trump would get it this time and Cruz would get it the next time, I would be very, very overjoyed. It would be absolutely wonderful. I would like to see both of them eventually serve as president. That's just, my opinion. And another thing that we have here, this is from Breitbart. This just came out. Apparently Mitt Romney actually helped Donald Trump and got him more voters because of his little attack against him earlier, I think it was last week. So according to Breitbart News by Alex Sawyer, former Republican Party nominee Mitt Romney's speech last week trashing the GOP frontrunner Donald Trump did little to dissuade voters from supporting the New York real estate mogul. 31% of Republican voters after Romney called Trump a phony said they are now more likely to cast a vote for Trump And 30% of the voters who supported Romney in 2012 said that they are more likely to vote for Trump, according to a new Morning Consult poll released on Tuesday. Roughly 20% of GOP voters said they are less likely to support Trump. So roughly 20% of GOP voters said they are less likely to support Trump. 43% of voters said they didn't think that Romney's criticisms had an impact. The Morning Consult poll also suggests that Republican voters favor Trump over Romney, as the real estate mogul has slightly higher favorability rating. The poll suggests that Trump has a 55 to 42% favorability rating, while former Massachusetts governor's favorability is 51 to 41. So still not too good. So only 5% of Trump supporters polled said that they are less likely to support the frontrunner. Only 5%. Just 5%. Despite Romney's speech having little to no effect on Trump, the poll did find that Senator Ted Cruz is closing on the billionaire. And because Brian Fisher released an article here recently about how Ted Cruz might have a chance to surge and become the nominee. It's going to be interesting to see. I am a little bit skeptical of it. I think Trump pretty much has it in the bag at this point. But, who knows? Cruz might actually surprise us all. According to the poll, Cruz increased 8% and is now at 17 points, or within 17 points of Trump. Senator Marco Rubio remained in third with 14%. Ohio Governor John Kasich ranked fourth at 10%. However, his support has doubled since the previous poll. And the reason why is because he hasn't been engaging in any of the, any of the negative behavior that the other candidates have been involved in. Because quite frankly, at times, the other three have been acting like complete children. And, a lot of people are turned off by that and look to the candidate that does not seem to be that childish, put it that way. But, normally when you get onto a national level, politics is very, very childish. But anyway, so the poll questioned 2,019 registered voters online from March 4th to March 6th, and it has a margin of error of plus or minus 2 points. So it's just, so it's pretty accurate. So that's what just came out, released by Breitbart News. Breitbart News reported it. So it's absolutely very, very interesting. And another article that we have here from Breitbart, this is also quite fascinating, is that Rubio is apparently crashing, according to what John Nolt is saying over there at Breitbart, and said that he could go home with 0 delegates. Fascinating. So as of this writing, 92% of Mississippi is counted. And Senator Marco Rubio sits in last place with just 5% support. Third place is John Kasich, almost doubles Rubio with 9%. Donald Trump is running away with 48%. Senator Ted Cruz, Republican from Texas, is in second place with just 36%. Meanwhile, in Michigan, with 74% contained or counted, why did I say contained? I don't understand. I guess I can't read now. Rubio is again in last place with just 9%. Cruz and Kasich are fighting for second place with almost 3 times of Rubio's support. 25%, Trump won the state and currently sits at 37%. With 25% of Idaho in, and of course we already went through the actual numbers that came in, so this is a dated article that was released yesterday, but discussing Rubio's condition in this election. With 25% of Idaho in, Rubio is in third place with just 20% and has a threshold to earn any delegates. So if these numbers hold, Marco Rubio will not win a single delegate in any of these 3 states. Hawaii is still a few hours away. And, of course, going back to Hawaii, Marco Rubio was in third with 13%. So that's what we had right there. Getting back to it, my count so far, the Republican savior is 1 to 22 in the GOP primary, and that's if you are generous enough to count Minnesota as a state and not as southern Canada with worse schools. Rubio also won Puerto Rico, which is a welfare state, but not a state. It's a territory. On behalf of Marco Rubio, the GOP Death Star, and their DC media allies have spent the last 10 days throwing everything they had at Donald Trump, from Nazis to the KKK to Mitt Romney to Trump University to hand size to millions and millions of dollars in negative ads, and they failed miserably. Tonight was nothing short of a triumph for Trump. Through an unprecedented onslaught, the Donald kept his head down, did his thing, and came out the other side with his most important victories yet. During his victory speech press conference Tuesday night, the frontrunner extended an olive branch to the establishment and did so persuasively. Ever since Marco Rubio tried to trump Trump with cheap jokes about Trump's manlyhood and wetting his pants, the Florida senator's fortunes have completely collapsed. Most of the recent poll of his home state shows him 20 points down. 20 points down. Meanwhile, Trump just keeps on keeping on. So Trump is doing very well in Florida. Really has a good chance of taking that state. And Marco Rubio, 20 points down in his own home state, really is just absolutely embarrassing for Marco Rubio. But hey, that's what happens. That's really what we've seen with a lot of the people who have challenged Donald Trump. They've just absolutely collapsed. I mean, you have Lindsey Graham, you have that other guy, Rick Perry, that was running. You have, let's see, who else do we have on this list? You have Bobby Jindal. You have several people that just absolutely were creamed by Donald Trump, ended up having to get out of the election because they just absolutely chastised Trump, and they failed. They did horribly. Jeb Bush, of course. And now the same exact thing is happening to Marco Rubio. And according to what we have here from Fox News, the Rubio camp is accusing, I guess, Ted Cruz of dirty tricks over Hawaii dropout email. So we're really hearing this way too much from the Cruz campaign, and that's one of the things that I've been saying quite often. It really wouldn't surprise me if it's happening again. I have said that if Ted Cruz ends up failing in this election, the reason why is because it's his campaign staff. His campaign staff is absolutely horrible. So according to what we have here from Fox News, Marco Rubio's campaign has accused Ted Cruz of dirty tricks on Tuesday after Cruz supporters in Hawaii blasted out emails suggesting that the Florida senator was about to drop out of the race. The email sent by Ted Cruz Hawaii cites a disputed CNN report claiming some Rubio advisors have told him to drop out of the 2016 race before Florida's primary next week, fearing that he could be humiliated by a defeat in his home state. Privately, the campaign is having a debate about whether he should remain in the mix or even for his home state of Florida's primary. And the email said, going on to quote the report, the email then quoted supposed Hawaii caucus goers who were not named, saying that they did not want to waste their votes on a likely dropout. Rubio's campaign has already adamantly denied the CNN report. And when it turned up in the Hawaii, why did they keep going to CNN? And when it turned up in the Hawaii email, immediately blasted Cruz for dirty tricks. Senator Cruz is up to his dirty tricks again, falsely spreading rumors and lies. We wouldn't allow him to do Marco Rubio in Florida what he did to Ben Carson in Iowa, Rubio spokesman Joe Pounder said in a statement. Hawaii is voting in the Republican contest Tuesday, along with Michigan, Mississippi, and Idaho, which he already did. The anti-Rubio email marks the latest incident in which Cruz's allies have spread dropout rumors. On the night of the Iowa caucuses, Cruz representatives left recorded messages saying that the neurosurgeon Ben Carson was dropping out of the race again, citing a CNN report. So they keep going to CNN. Stop it! You're making yourselves look bad. But anyway, in that case, through CNN, only reported Ben Carson was intending to return to Florida to get a change of clothes. In this case, Cruz supporters were more accurately citing the Rubio report, but the Rubio campaign insists that the report itself is false. So anyway, I guess Fox News is saying that CNN actually did report that there are people that are stating that, maybe Rubio should drop out before Florida, but that was not the case with the Cruz with the Carson campaign.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
This is McKinnon's 1460 WBUC.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
J.P. Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC, Buckhannon. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the youngest syndicated radio host in the history of talk radio, as named by Talkers Magazine. It is great to have you with us. So, we have a thing here from, let me get it for you. It's from the Washington Times. And apparently, this is what we have here. Suspect in shooting of Ted Cruz rally pastor arrested at White House. The man suspected of shooting a prominent Idaho evangelical pastor was arrested on Tuesday outside the White House hours after claiming his victim was a Martin, I guess is how you pronounce it. Kyle Odom, 30, was arrested in Washington, D.C. 2 days after the attack on Tim Remington outside of the Altar Church in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, after Sunday services. Who is Tim Remington? Remington, sounds familiar. I don't know who that is. No, I don't know him. But anyway, he was shot day after of giving his prayer there at the Ted Cruz rally. So it's really just horrible. So CNN is citing the Secret Service reported that Mr. Odom was arrested at the White House. Mr. Odom was arrested after he threw 2 suspicious objects over the south fence of the White House around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, CNN's source said. A Washington, D.C. arrest has been confirmed by the police there after Mr. Odom's family told local outlets, according to TV station KXLY in Washington. KKLY suggested that Mr. Odom, a former Marine with no criminal record but a brief history of mental illness, may be suffering from delusions. So that's what we have going on there. In a Facebook post Tuesday afternoon, hours before he reportedly was taken into custody, Odom posted that he had shot Pastor Tim 12 times. Remington was hit 6 times because he claimed that he was a martyr who had ruined his life, I guess. So whatever. So that's what happened there. So that's really just absolutely horrible. Oh, yeah, we have something from the Washington Free Beacon here. By the way, definitely keep Mr. Remington in prayer, along with his family. Definitely. So he wasn't, he's in a critical condition, I guess, from what we have here. Was not killed, but he was, oh my gosh. So according to Washington Post, Idaho pastor was shot in the skull after praying with Ted Cruz. And they just found the guy who did it. So he was shot in the skull for that. That's horrible. So definitely keep Mr. Remington in prayer. Keep his family in prayer because they're definitely going through a rough time right now. They definitely can use all the support that they can get. Anyway, another thing that we have here, this is from Washington Free Beacon. The university apparently used taxpayer funding to buy Snuggies. You know what Snuggies are? They're that, I guess they're that, they're like the throwovers that you put over yourself that are basically blankets. I guess it's really fluffy blankets that are, I guess, sewn in the shape of clothing so you can actually slip them on. Anyway, yeah, apparently thousands of National Science Foundation funds were spent on Snuggies, pottery, and a trip to Hawaii. According to the Washington Free Beacon, the University of Washington used federal grant funding to buy thousands of dollars worth of custom embroidered Snuggies. Taxpayer-funded National Science Foundation grants were used to purchase Snuggies, pottery, and a trip to Hawaii. The agency's inspector general audited the University of Washington and found millions in unallowable salary costs and numerous examples of unreasonable transactions from funds intended for scientific research. The audit released last month identified that 8,821 charged to 5 separate grants on unallowable promotional items and gifts, including personalized Snuggie blankets. The wasteful expenditures included 3,920 on canvas bags, many optical computer mice, and custom Snuggies, as well as 1,179 for the purchase of embroidered Snuggies. Snuggies retail for as low as $7.99. Personalized embroidered Snuggies can cost much more, but the university could have brought 51 Snuggies at $22.99 a piece. With 1,179 they spent from the allstarlogo.com, bigger than most Snuggie fleece blankets. So they spent all this money on Snuggies. It's really nice to know that your taxpayer dollars are going to something that is so needed. I tell you, I get so tired of this. So we have another thing that's going on here. I need to pull this article up. Let me see if I can find it, because it's something that just happened in West Virginia, here in my home state. But what happened was that the governor, Earl Ray Tomblin, my name is Earl, as I like to refer to him as, ended up vetoing a bill that would allow concealed carry without having a permit. So if you're 21 and over, you do not have to have a permit in order to conceal carry. So basically, you don't have to have a permit in order to use your constitutional right of the Second Amendment. Okay, so that's what was reported by West Virginia Metro News, our friends over there. So basically, what is also going to happen here is that if you are 18 to 21, you do not have to have, or you can also conceal carry. And see, it was just 21 and over, you could get a conceal carry permit. But they ended up lowering it, so from 18 to 21, you can conceal carry as long as you have a permit. So here on May 29th, when I turn 18, I will be able to go and get my conceal carry permit now. And I wasn't able to do that before. Now, as soon as I turn 21, that permit will not be necessary in order to carry here in West Virginia. And this was reported by Jeff Jenkins in Charleston, West Virginia. Permits will no longer be required to carry a concealed weapon in West Virginia in 90 days following the completion of a legislative override vote on Saturday morning. So they overrode this vote in the West Virginia legislature. The 23-11 vote by the state Senate joined with a vote in the House of Delegates on Friday and makes the permitless concealed carry bill law, despite Governor Earl Ray Tomblin's earlier veto. Senators repeated some of their earlier arguments before Saturday's vote. Other senators said that they have heard more from law enforcement in recent days. I can hear them, drug runners, up in Detroit, Michigan. I can possibly hear the cheers going up, Senator Mike Wolfell, Democrat from Cabell County, said. But Senator Craig Blair, Republican from Berkeley, said that he heard a different sound. I can hear freedom knocking at the doors in West Virginia. That's exactly what this does, Blair said. And, of course, Senator Blair is the father of my friend Sarah Blair, delegate over there in Parkersburg. And she's the youngest delegate ever to serve here in West Virginia. So that's fantastic there. So Mr. Blair saying that this is actually just initiating freedom. This is a great bill. Fantastic. This is what we need here in the state. So anyway, Governor Tomblin quickly criticized the override with a prepared statement. Tomblin, did he write it himself? And it was probably in crayon. But anyway, Tomblin said that he was disheartened by the action of the legislature and its decision not to stand with law enforcement. It's unfortunate that the concerns of officers from every law enforcement branch in the state, including the West Virginia State Police and University Campus Police, have been ignored by today's action, Tomblin said. The new law would require largely eliminate the state's permit and training requirements to carry a concealed weapon. The bill requires those between 18 and 21 to get the training and permit. Now, I really like that part where they're allowing 18-year-olds and up to obtain a permit. I mean, it would concern me if they weren't able to obtain a permit there, because a lot of 18-year-olds are absolutely stupid and they don't belong in withholding any type of firearm. However, if they have to go through the training course like everybody else, and if they successfully go through it and they're able to get their gun, then I really like that, because I do not like the idea. Because see, I'll just give you an example, okay? I receive a lot of threats by doing this show, okay? It's just something that I've gotten used to, and I'm not allowed, being 17, of course, I'm not allowed to carry a gun, okay? Now I will be able to get the protection that I need.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
This is Buchanan's 1460 WBUC.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that teaches you how to invest money, how to prepare for your retirement, basically teaches you how to save money. And they are offering a free report right now that you can sign up for, 18 pages, absolutely free. You can get that by going to 25security.com. That is 25security.com. All you have to do is just type in your first name, last name, primary email, and they will send it right your way. That is 25security.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC Buchanan. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. So, Iran is threatening to walk away from their little nuclear deal to further, I guess, humiliate us. According to the Washington Free Beacon by Adam Kiro, Iran on Tuesday, again, threatened to walk away from its nuclear agreement reached last year with the global powers, hours after the country breached international agreements by firing a test ballistic missile. Iran's most recent ballistic missile test, which violates the current UN Security Council's resolutions, comes a day after the international community's nuclear watchdog organization disclosed that it is prohibited by the nuclear agreement from publicly reporting on potential violations by Iran. So what we're having here is that Iran is now talking about just completely walking away from this horrible agreement that the White House and President Obama and you have, what was it, John Kerry ended up developing, and so, oh, it's such a great bill, such a wonderful bill, or such a wonderful agreement, I mean. And now Iran is just saying, yeah, we're going to walk away from it. I mean, we seriously think that we can negotiate with terrorists. That's what this, oh my gosh, that's what this absolutely idiotic organization thinks that they can do. They think that they can simply just, oh, okay, well, yeah, we're going to negotiate with Iran. That's hunky dory. I just get so absolutely tired of a lot of these absolute morons that think that we can negotiate with terrorists. It's so absolutely absurd. I can't take it. It's pathetic. It doesn't need to happen, but that's what they do. Okay, that's this administration. They have absolutely no reason. They don't use common sense. They think that they can become friends with the people that want to kill us and believe that we are destined to hell, that we are the great Satan. And I get so absolutely tired of people just thinking that these radical Muslim extremists are our friends. I mean, how can you honestly say that we can form any type of relations with these people when they want to absolutely kill us, when they want to chop off our heads? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. They believe that we're infidels. They believe in killing us if we refuse to convert over to their religion. And by the way, regarding Islam as a whole, they say that, well, there are peaceful Muslims out there that do not support all this, garbage out there, that don't support killing you. Let me give you something to think about. There's a thing that's universally held by all Muslims, and it's called taqiyya. And taqiyya is lying to promote Islam, to advance Islam. Now, I have a theory that I want to share with you guys. What if all the Muslims who say that they are not violent, they claim that they are not violent, that they do not believe that people should be forced to convert to Islam or die. What if they were all using taqiyya to gain acceptance for Islam? And as a result, you'd have more people converted over to their faith. You would have more mosques opening in the United States. And on top of that, you'd have more people that would be accepting Islam. Well, what if they were actually lying? And they were just doing that to advance Islam, to get more mosques in the United States, to get the acceptance of Islam, so they can further bring more Muslims over here, because that's what they're wanting to do with the Syrian refugees. What if all that is just a huge lie, to where they actually do believe in what the Quran says, convert or die, and they are in favor of taking us out? I mean, that's just a theory that I have. It's and I'm not going to say that all Muslims support violence against everybody, but it's just something that's interesting, because, I mean, when their religion, and it's a universally held belief that taqiyya is okay, I'll give you another example. I think one of the uses of a taqiyya is if they're trying to drive you out, then you can lie and say, "Oh yeah, I'm peaceful. Oh yeah, I don't believe in this part of Islam." you can, I guess, by Islamic law, you can legally do that if it's in the advance of Allah. So, if that is the case, and that's what they're trying to do, and how, because I'll just give you another example. How can you trust someone who follows a religion that condones, and not only condones, but encourages lying? How can you trust anybody that's a part of that religion if it's in the advance of Islam? How can you trust what anybody who's part of Islam says about their faith when by Islamic law they can lie in order to promote their religion? Because, I mean, lying and saying, no, I don't believe in this part of the Quran that talks about how I'm to murder you if you don't convert. How can you trust that they actually mean what they say when taqiyya is a thing, and taqiyya is, like I said, universally held by members of that faith? It's just something that's interesting to think about. Because when you really get down to it, it is a very concerning religion. It is a religion that I would say, personally I feel, is not based upon peace. And that's just from what I've read. And on the show, we've read specific parts of the Quran before, where we have gone into detail as to if this is a peaceful religion or if it is a violent religion. But, you know, it's really just absolutely, it's quite concerning to me when you really get down to what the faith represents. And these are Islamic countries that we're dealing with over here. Iran is a radical Islamic country, and we're saying that we can form negotiations with them. I personally do not understand that. And then on top of that, we just absolutely throw off Israel to the side. According to another article that we have here from Washington Free Beacon, apparently that the meeting between President Obama and Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, the meeting's been canceled. According to WFB, Adam Credo, a meeting between President Barack Obama and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been canceled after the Israeli leader decided to nix an upcoming trip to the United States, according to statements from both governments. Israeli news reports on Monday that initially claimed that the meeting was canceled after Obama decided not to hold a face-to-face sit-down with the Prime Minister. Oh, that's nice. The report prompted anger from the Obama administration, which immediately claimed that this was not the case. The Israeli Prime Minister's office also set the record straight on Tuesday, saying that Netanyahu is unable to travel to Washington, D.C. The conflicting reports on the matter prompted confusion in both countries, and both led to administrations to seek to set the record straight on Tuesday. So we don't know what's happened. More than likely, it's probably President Obama did not want to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu. That's just going to be my guess in this entire thing. But it's really just absolutely horrible. I mean, we treat Iran better than we do Israel. And I tell you, it's really just, it's so absolutely pathetic. Completely pathetic, in my opinion. Let's see, another thing that we have here, and I'm just going to go ahead and read another. While we're on Washington Free Beacon, might as well get all their articles out of the way that I have on this show stuff. But here in show prep, another thing, D.C. gun carry case moves back to appeals court. The district court has upheld for good reason clause, according to Stefan Gutkowski, Gutowski, I don't know, Gutowski, I think it's Gutowski. But anyway, from Washington Free Beacon, the case against Washington's restrictive gun carry law is on its way back to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit after a district court judge sided with the city in ruling release on Monday. Judge Colleen Kadar-Kathari, I can't pronounce these names, they're horrible, ruled against the plaintiff's claim that the city's good reason clause, which allows officials to deny permits to applicants who otherwise pass a background check and complete the required training, is unconstitutional. She denied their request for a preliminary injunction to block the enforcement of that part of the law. The plaintiffs immediately filed an appeal of the decision with the United States Court of Appeals. This represents a repeat of May 2015 for the case, blah, 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 blah. Now, nearly a year later, the case looks to be headed back to the same higher court. So it's going back there. We're going to see what happens. Second Amendment Foundation, the gun rights group, is backing the suit and said that they were expecting the district court judge to rule against them, and they are happy to back the appellate level. So we'll see what happens with this entire thing there.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight. You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC, Buckhannon. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that teaches you how to invest money, how to prepare for your retirement, basically teaches you how to save money. And they are offering a free report right now that you can sign up for, 18 pages, absolutely free. You can get that by going to 25security.com. That is 25security.com. All you have to do is just type in your first name, last name, primary email, and they will send it right your way. That is 25security.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC Buchanan. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is absolutely wonderful to have you with us. Yeah. So, here's another thing that we have here for you. This is from the Gateway Pundit. And apparently Fareed Zakaria from CNN has decided to compare Donald Trump supporters to ISIS. Isn't that great? So if you like Donald Trump, you are a member of ISIS. This is what CNN's Fareed Zakaria say. This is the exact quote here. Fareed Zakaria said, according to the Gateway Pundit, a main cause of the rise in extremism in the world of Islam has been the cowardice of Muslim moderates who chose not to condemn bad ideas and ugly rhetoric. It is now clear that a similar dynamic has been at play in the world of conservatism. Oh, yeah, so conservatism is equivalent to radical Islamic extremism. That's wonderful. This is great for the Communist News Network. Fantastic. Some of its most distinguished mainstream members of the conservative movement have embraced the rhetoric and tactics of the extremes. That's what Fareed Zakaria has said. I tell you, I get so absolutely tired of this absolute ridiculousness. And he went on to blame Donald Trump, too, and said that he's contributing to it. He's one of the head members of this entire thing. I don't understand what is wrong with some of these people. And we actually have the audio bit for you. I'm going to go ahead and play as much of it as I can because we're very limited on time here. We're in the last segment. But go ahead and play what we can.
A main cause of the rise of extremism in the world of Islam has been the cowardice of Muslim moderates who for decades chose not to condemn bad ideas and ugly rhetoric. Fearing that they'd be seen simply as ideological weaklings, they avoided confronting the cancer in plain sight. It is now clear that a similar dynamic has been at play in the world of conservatism. There have always been radicals on both sides of the political spectrum. But what is different about the conservative movement is that since the 1990s, some of its most distinguished mainstream members have embraced the rhetoric and tactics of the extremes. A memo put out by Newt Gingrich's Political Action Committee that decade urged Republican candidates to use savage rhetoric against their Democratic opponents.
Like what?
Some of the recommended words were failure, pathetic, disgrace, and incompetent. In the last month...
What in the world is he talking about? He didn't say anything. So because you use the term failure, you are a radical extremist? What in the world? This is CNN. Keep playing it. Now we get to Trump.
Trump has called Mitt Romney a failed candidate, Jeb Bush pathetic, Lindsey Graham a disgrace, and President Obama totally incompetent. Perhaps he read the memo. The Wall Street Journal...
Oh my gosh. So because you call someone totally incompetent, which is exactly what Fareed Zakaria is, you are somehow equivalent to ISIS? This is, by the way, called Fareed steak. Fareed steak. I tell you, I am so... that really just aggravates me. So you look at everything that the liberals call us guys. I mean, if you are in opposition to homosexuality, same-sex marriage, then you are homophobic and you're a bigot, you're this, you're that. If you are in opposition to abortion, you hate women. You are a misogynist. Even if you are a woman, you hate your own gender then. It's really just so absolutely pathetic to me that you have all this garbage that's coming from the liberal left. They can say whatever they want about us, but as soon as we retaliate, as soon as we reveal the truth about them, as soon as we start using language that is truthful to describe them, such as they are failures, such as they are incompetent, we're compared to ISIS? Seriously? I tell you guys, it's just so absolutely pathetic. Really is. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Caiden Cowger program. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.